Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're going to give folks a few seconds to migrate in from the waiting room. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the New Jersey Secure Choice Act and Federal Secure 2.10 Act. I'm Katie Whitcamp, part of the business development team for the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, and with us today is James O'Donoghue from BCG Securities. James is a fiduciary financial advisor with a focus on retirement plan consulting. He helps small to mid-sized companies initiate, review, and manage their retirement plans. He focuses on 401k and 403b plans and specializes in the multiple employer plan, or MEP, EANJ Retirement Advantage Program, assisting Employer Association of New Jersey members and NJBIA members. The 401k solution is just one of the many resources NJBIA offers to our members to help save money. We offer a health benefit solution, payroll, HR, and training resources. Please check them out on our website. You never know how much you can save until you look. A few housekeeping matters before we get started. Today's program is being recorded and will be emailed to you within 1 week. I'd also like to draw your attention to the question and answer box. James would be happy to take your questions at the end, so get them in as they come to you via the question and answer box. If you have any trouble viewing or hearing during this presentation, don't forget you will automatically be receiving a recording. So if you have to sign out, you can rewatch the recording. And now, without further ado, James, take us away.
Thank you, Katie. And thank you, everybody, for joining. My name is James O'Donoghue. I'm the financial advisor that runs the New Jersey Retirement Advantage Program through NJBIA. I also am very well versed on the New Jersey Secure Choice 2.0 Act. So I'll walk through that. I know many of you have been concerned about this after this law passed back in 2019. Because of COVID, there have been delays, and we're finally getting some guidance on when the launch date is. And how it may or may not affect your business. So again, don't hesitate to click on that Q&A button on the bottom or the chat feature. I'll do my best to answer those questions as we move along. And again, if anything makes it to the end, I'd be happy to answer as many questions as possible. So I don't want to waste too much of your time here. So I'm going to walk through this presentation to discuss the New Jersey Secure Choice Act from 2019, okay? So, as we mentioned, 2019, they passed this law requiring every business with 25 or more employees to offer a retirement program. Now, there were delays, but finally, 2 weeks ago, we got guidance that the panel in Trenton decided that the launch date is going to be June 30th, okay, in 2024. So next year, this upcoming year, is the year that you're going to be mandated to start a retirement program. And there is a little wiggle room, okay? And we'll walk through that here. You do have a few months to comply before any of the penalties come in. So any employer with 25 or more employees in the past calendar year is required to offer a retirement program, all right? As long as you've been in business for 2 years. And if you do currently have a 401k, you're excluded. You're good. You're grandfathered in. You no longer are required, and you bypass that secure choice law. So this really only affects companies that do not currently have a plan. Now, there is better options. As members of NJBIA, you are entitled to many of the benefits that NJBIA offers, one of them being an elevated retirement plan offering, which I'll touch base on as well. So now we know a date, right? June 30th, the law goes into effect, and you'll have a 9-month buffer of when you need to start and offer a retirement program. If you don't offer one by the end of the year, you will get a state letter warning you, hey, you're not in compliance, you need to offer a program, and then the fees start coming in. So $100 penalty per employee, $250 after year 3, year 5, the penalties continue to increase. $100 per employee is higher than the cost would be if you wanted to start your own 401k plan, right? So they are really making it or enticing you to start a retirement program. So you do have options, right, to make sure that you're satisfied and you meet the requirements through the New Jersey Secure Choice Act. Option 1, New Jersey will offer a program, which you'll learn more about prior to that launch date, June 30th. They're going to have an offering through the state, which you can sign up for, and you have the state run your company's retirement program and give access to individual retirement accounts for each of your employees. All right, so that is one of the options that you have. Now, I know most folks would prefer the state not run their company's retirement account for many reasons, but that offer is there. Okay. Option 2, you can start your own 401k or 403b for your company, or a simpler SEP IRA program for your organization. You can do that through any types of companies, right? Fidelity, Vanguard, Principal, Empower, a lot of different companies or your bank may even offer a 401k option. And I can certainly assist with that. We manage, thousands throughout the country. Option 3, and this is where most folks choose to go. Many of the NJBIA members have already taken advantage of this, and many more I know will over the next few months to satisfy this requirement. You can take advantage of the NJBIA retirement program. And there are significant benefits to that, which I'll touch base on here in a minute. So the last 2 or 3 years, not only has the state, but the federal government has been trying very hard to entice employers to start retirement programs. These laws that are coming down the pipe for New Jersey have also been implemented throughout the country in many states. And we're expecting a federal law to copycat what New Jersey and Massachusetts and California and New York and most other states have done, which is requiring these companies to offer a retirement program. Before they got to that step, where it became a requirement with penalties and punishments, they have been providing tax credits to companies offering these programs. So at first, they wanted to reward you for offering it before they start requiring you to offer it. Fortunately, those tax credits federally are still in play. All right, so you can receive, these aren't tax deductions, these are tax credits, up to $5,000 in tax credits for starting and having a retirement plan for your company. Okay, I will say the average cost to run a 401k plan, especially through the NJBIA portal, is less than half of that. Right, so the credits alone, you can start a 401k for your company, offer it to your employees, provide education, help them with the investments. All of those things can be covered for the first 2 years and not have any out-of-pocket expenses for you as an organization. Okay. And the credits stack depending on how you set up your plan, but I could certainly walk you through that and help you and your accountant maximize the credits if you did want to start and implement a retirement plan. I do expect many of these credits programs to go away as these retirement plans are becoming mandated, right? If you're forced to have a plan, there's no reason for the government to continue to give you credits for them. So I would take advantage of this option while they're still around. This is the Federal Secure Choice Act. Now, you will get a copy of this as a PDF. This describes all of the changes that were made last year to the retirement planning world. It's a lot, right? I've been working with retirement accounts the last 13, 14 years. I've never seen so many drastic changes over the course of 1 year. And this is Secure Choice Act 2.0. We're expecting more adjustments and changes to be made. Right. The government is realizing there's a retirement savings crisis. It's becoming too expensive for smaller plans. There's too many fiduciary hurdles for smaller companies to offer these programs. So they're doing a lot of work to alleviate some of those burdens and assist you as a business owner in offering a retirement plan for your employees. and they're making it more attainable and more beneficial for your employees to join on. Now, I do want to touch on the NJBIA program because it's specific to you folks because you are already NJBIA members. This plan was specifically designed for New Jersey business owners that are members of NJBIA and the Employers Association of New Jersey, another nonprofit similar to NJBIA. So essentially, they took the combined pooled resources of all of the members and created what we believe to be the best 401k plan possible. And they used the purchasing power of all of the members to reduce the cost and fiduciary liability. So you can be a startup plan with 25 employees and have the pricing and benefit and investment options as a company worth $100 million. Right? Because you're packaging all the pricing together with all the other NJBIA members. You could still set up your own specific company 401k. You could call it the ABC 401k plan. You can determine, do you want to match or not match? You can determine eligibility and safe harbor plans. And you can design the plan exactly as you and your organization see as most beneficial for yourself. But get the combined pricing because you're pooled together with NJBIA. There's also drastic fiduciary components as well that make it very beneficial. So the primary benefits, one, and the thing most folks are interested in is cost, right? For most folks, most businesses, those tax credits will cover the first few years of the program. So it eliminates the cost of your Fidelity bond insurance. And for those larger companies that are getting audited, it removes that cost as well. And that's north of $10,000 a year in savings because you're pooled with the NJBIA program. Fiduciary protection, so it eliminates most of the work required to run a 401k plan, right? You're not filing your 5,500 every year. You don't have to buy that insurance. It's managed by an unpaid board of trustees. All the investment options are selected by a fiduciary, myself and my firm. So you as a business owner don't have to constantly make sure every quarter that the investment options are the lowest cost, that meet the requirements to fit within your 401k plan. And then obviously it reduces a lot of the human resources, the HR workload, because you have all these other things in place. I will say those what I deem as the larger benefits, but for the employers and the employees, most of the feedback comes that they're happiest about is the employee education. So as a startup or a newer 401k plan, you still will have a financial advisor, a fiduciary financial advisor, which less than 2% of 401ks in the country have, who is legally required to do what's in the best interest of you and your employees. So they can come to your location in person, on Zoom, have a group meeting with your employees, sit down one-on-one, explain the benefits of a 401k, make specific recommendations within the 401k plan of what investments each employee should be utilizing, and offer full-service financial planning for you and your employees. Typically, we do work for a financial planning firm. It's something that we do. We charge anywhere from $500 to $1,200 per plan, depending on complexity. Part of the contract and agreement with NJBIA was if you sign up for this as a 401k, your employees are entitled to those financial planning services at no cost to them. So the cost benefits can constantly increase as you take more and more advantage of what this program can actually offer. Again, if you are a larger company and you already have a 401k, that's great. You absolutely meet the requirements for the Secure Choice Act. So you are not legally required to do anything by that June 30th deadline. The state will see that you already have a filing through your tax ID for your business, and you will not be subject to any of these warnings or penalties. However, I would still recommend at least taking a look at what the NJBIA plan can offer, because I would almost assure that it would be drastic cost savings for you and your employees, especially if you're a larger plan. The larger the plan gets, the greater the cost savings. The internal investment expenses, Vanguard, Fidelity, American funds are all what are considered institutional share pricing, meaning you're getting charged, you and your employees are getting fees the least legal amount possible that these companies can offer. All right. Fiduciary protection, we talked about this briefly, right? So you don't have to choose any of the investment options yourself, any of the transaction processing, loan processing, distributions, participant notices. It's all taken care of by the plan administrator. And then 338 fiduciary protection simply means all investment decisions, options, recommendation, and guidance, the liability is away from you as the business owner and as the person who offers the 401k plan and transferred to fiduciary financial advisory firm. This is what's called a benchmark program, okay? If you have a retirement plan, you are required to get a benchmark done every 3 years by the DOL, all right? We can do this at no cost, and it's simply just a one-page outline, as you'll see here as an example. Hey, this is what you're currently paying. This is what the EANJ or NJBIA retirement advantage cost would be, and here is the cost difference. It is your job as a business owner to make sure that you're not being overcharged or your employees are not being overcharged for the retirement plan. For this example, it's a larger plan. This already has 120 employees. It's existing. There's $2 million total in assets. And you can see it's about half the cost, right? The average cost, this is using fiduciary averages in the United States. So this is what the average cost is to have and operate a 401k of that size is $53,000. The NJBIA program, this includes all expenses, right, is $27,700, so about half the cost. Now, for many folks that I know that are on this call now that want to meet that secure choice, New Jersey secure choice retirement, assuming you have 25 employees, and by the end of the year, you'll have $100,000 in the program. Here are the cost savings as well. So again, it is about half the cost overall. I'd be more than happy to run a benchmark for you if you already have a 401k program. If you do not have a 401k program, we can walk through what the startup costs and everything would be, to run the program for yourself. Again, if you have a $5,000 tax credit, it typically covers the first two plus years of total expenses. So there's a lot of information available about this program and about the Secure Choice 2.0 Act at njbia.org. You are going to get a copy and a snapshot of a lot of the program requirements, benefits, penalties, etc., emailed to you along with a copy of this webinar within the week. There's also a 12-page e-booklet. All right, it's a PDF. We can also mail you out physical copies of the booklet that you can get at njbia.org. If you fill out the 401k, you just put your email and the booklet will be sent to you. All right. This outlines the entirety of the program, all the nuances if you want to run it by either your existing advisor, your accountant, just to clarify and make sure that this program is the right fit for you. I will say, I meet with many, many business owners, and if you're already an NJBIA participant or member, there's 9 in 10 chance that those folks do move forward with this as their retirement savings option. It is getting quite busy now as the Secure Choice is starting to kick off. It goes into implementation next year. And specifically now, this time of year in October and November, is the busiest time of year because if you are looking to start a retirement plan for 2024, and you can launch it January 1st, 2024, it typically takes about 6 weeks to get it up and running. So the next few weeks, we'll see a lot of people sign up with a plan to launch on January 1st of 2024. That way you can take full advantage of the year and all the tax savings for you and your employees. Okay. I do want to get through a lot of these question and answers for you too, as well. So some of the questions that came through are, of the 25 employees, is that full-time, both part-time and full-time? So 25 employees would be employees who are eligible for a 401k plan. And by the IRS guidelines is if you work 1,000 hours a year or more, you're considered full-time in terms of the IRS 401k guidelines. All right. So that's 20 hours a week. That's half part-time. They would be deemed eligible. Now, again, they're pushing further rules. They just implemented another rule federally with that Secure Choice Act. If you have a part-time employee for over 2 years, they will be now deemed as full-time employees, right? So they're constantly making this changeover to include more and more of your employees. So if you have 20 employees and 10 part-time, you'll probably be fine for the next year or two. Eventually, you will have to offer the program because those part-time employees will be deemed as full-time. And if New Jersey follows suit with every other state, they'll start off, okay, 25 employees is the minimum full-time employees to have a retirement plan. Most of those states have been lowering that number to 15, 20 to 15. So my assumption is over the next few years that mandatory employee count will go down. Seasonal employees are different. So I did see another question there. Most seasonal employees are working, I assume, in the summer. They will not, sorry, I'm just answering these questions as they come along. Those seasonal employees generally do not come anywhere close to the 1,000-hour rule, and many of them don't meet your individual company's eligibility requirement if you were to make, mandatory minimum age 21. So there are ways to structure your plan or your organization where you will not be required to make your 401k eligible for those seasonal employees, which is good. It's a cost savings and it's less HR work for you as a business owner. I did have another question come through. Is this a PEP or a pooled employer plan? Great question. So this plan launched 7 years ago as a multiple employer plan because that's what was offered for that's what was available, and that was the best option available for organizations like NJBIA. A year and a half ago, the federal government now announced a new program that you're allowed to do something called a PEP, a pooled employer plan. There are some additional benefits to having a pooled employer plan over a multiple employer plan. So this multiple employer plan essentially will be transferred into a pooled employer plan starting in 2024. It doesn't really affect the employers drastically. As far as as far as the existing employers are concerned, there won't be much change. It just allows for a better fiduciary oversight, and we can bring in some other outside firms. They loosen the rules a little bit. Again, all of these rules that the federal government is implementing is to increase 401k and retirement savings options for employees. So it's currently not a PEP or a pooled employer plan, but it will be in 2024. Michael, I do see you have a question about the funds offered through the funds offered available in the NJBIA program. I certainly do. We can send out a listing of those funds if you like. I'd be happy to even show you right now. I can share my screen of what the current fund lineup is and their returns year to date. So give me 1 second here. And I can certainly email this out to you as well. So here's a list of the funds available in the program. Okay. As you can see, they're all fiduciary. I'm sorry, they're all institutional share class, so the lowest fees possible. We offer the best possible actively managed mutual fund in every segment, along with the Vanguard option, the lowest expense option. And then, of course, the top target date funds available, which are American funds. We can send you out this list. We update it every month. And then the funds are reviewed every quarter with the 338 fiduciary, the unpaid board of trustees. And we will make adjustments and changes based on FI 360 and Morningstar's reports. And there's a whole process, which I would be more than happy to walk through with you at any time. Okay. So those were some great questions. I encourage you to type in or raise your hand or type in more questions in the Q&A box. But the Secure Choice Act, finally, we've gotten guidance. 2 weeks ago, we were given a date, June 30th. I know it's been a while since they passed the law in 2019, but you know how the New Jersey government sometimes acts, which is primarily the reason why folks don't want the New Jersey government to run their retirement program. So I encourage everyone to take a look or take advantage of what NJBIA is offering. I know many of you already do on the healthcare side. This is a very similar program where we simply utilize all of the benefits of having such a large membership base to reduce the costs and offer the best possible option for everybody. All right, let me walk through some more of the questions. I think I answered all of the questions available. I strongly encourage, again, everyone just go on the NJBIA website. My contact information is there. It's also listed in the chat box. You'll get this recording, which has all my information as well. I'll be reaching out to each of you. I'll send you over an email. I'll include that NJBIA e-booklet. That way you have it. You don't have to do anything, and it's there, and you can always respond. And we can either do a benchmark, or we can walk through any specific questions that you may have for you, your employees, or what's the best route to go to get started. Okay, Katie, I think that's it. I covered everything I was looking to cover. There were some great questions that came in.
We had a couple of questions come in beforehand. So if you have a few more minutes, the one was, how much money can my company get back by starting a plan?
So it's $5,000 is the maximum crediting rewarded. I do see the first slide says Dave, June 30th, 2023. My apologies, June 30th, 2024. I should point that out. They pushed it back. My apologies, it's June 30th, 2024. But yes, you can get up to $5,000 in credits for starting the plan.
Great. And about how long, James, would it take to implement a new plan if someone signed up?
So generally 5 or 6 weeks. 5 or 6 weeks, because the plan exists, but we want it to customize it to your organization. We want to make sure we can get out to your location and give individual educational, guidance to your employees. But generally 5 or 6 weeks. That's why this time of year is quite busy, because you do want to launch January 1st to take advantage of having the full year for your employees.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Is there anyone else that has any questions that wants to put it right in to the chat? Is there any last minute nuggets that you have for us, James?
I do see another question that popped in. You don't get to deduct the fees in order to get the tax credits. Any expense to run a retirement program is fully tax deductible. So yes, you get to deduct all the expenses to run the 401k. On top of that, you get tax credits. Right, so you can, it's $5,000 in credits, but you're also deducting the $2,000 a year, for example, it may cost to run the program. So essentially, you can do the math and stretch it out. Where, all right, this plan is basically free for 3 or 4 years, and by that point, if you have enough employee participation, the plan will pay for itself. So you certainly do get to deduct the fees, any fees or expenses that the organization may pay to run the 401k. The credits are on top of that. And once the credits dry up after 3 years, the deductions just continue. You can continue to deduct the expenses.
And James, somebody asked, when you state 401, is it a simple IRA treated with the same rules?
Good question, Marie. No, 401k has very different rules than a simple IRA. So simple IRA has lower contribution limits, right, than a 401k would. So it's 15,000 versus up to 30,000 in a 401k. Simple IRAs also require a matching component. So if you have a simple IRA for your company, you're required to give money to each of your employees into their simple IRA. A 401k allows for that, but it's not a requirement. So you can set up the matching component however you want. The simple IRA has very strict matching rules of 3%. So a simple IRA is very different than a 401k. However, either one of them would satisfy the secure choice requirements through the state of New Jersey. Michael mentioned, if you have a 401k, are there any tax credits for switching? No, there would not tax credit to go from one 401k to another. However, you can implement a few caveats to your plan that will get you tax credits. For example, you can add automatic enrollment for your employees and automatic escalation. Right now, that is an option, automatic enrollment. What that means is when you have a 401k, the way it traditionally works is you offer the 401k for your employees and they have to sign up to participate. Automatic enrollment means you have a 401k, all of your employees are enrolled, they can opt out if they want. All right. Right now, there's a $1,500 credit to offer automatic enrollment. Next year, all new plans federally, part of that Federal Secure Choice Act, automatic enrollment is a requirement. All right. So it's very similar with all these credits. We're going to offer you a carrot, right? Do it. We'll give you credits, mandatory next year, no matter what. So those credits will go away. So if you have a 401k, you do not automatically, by switching, you won't get credits, but you can implement a few of the credits that are still existing, like automatic enrollment, which you will be, required to do anyway. But if you do it this year or next year, you'll get the credits. Does the act apply to all companies with NJ employees, even if they are not based in NJ? Yeah, if you have 25 employees in New Jersey, you have to offer a retirement plan. That's how the rule is set. Similar with NJBIA, right? You don't have to be based in New Jersey, but if you have employees in New Jersey, you can certainly be a member of NJBIA. Great questions. The tax credits ends this year for automatic enrollment. No, they have not removed the tax credits yet, so you can still get them for 2024. However, federally, if you're a new 401k plan, you have to offer automatic enrollment anyway. So they have not announced the removal of the tax credits. However, I'm assuming based on how the federal government works, they're not going to give you a credit for something they require. So I'm making an assumption that those tax credits will be going away shortly. So absolutely, I would take advantage of them. 2024, they have not removed them. So I would take advantage of them while you're able to before they get removed. Again, that's just an assumption on my part is that they'll be removed. But again, anything that's mandated, generally, there's no reason for them to continue to give you a credit for it.
And James, just to clarify, a pre-question was just that if I have 20 employees, do I have to do anything?
No, you do not. No, you do not. The limit's 25. I did mention, New York started at 50, then it was 25, now it's down to 15. That's how California, Washington, Oregon, about half the states now have a similar program. No, if you have 20 employees, you do not have to offer a program. My assumption is you probably will in a few years, but you're good for at least the next 2 or 3 years. However, there are a lot of benefits of offering a retirement program, whether it's retention, recruitment, or even your ability to save for yourself, especially with the way NJBIA has this program laid out and with the way the tax advantages are. 20 employees is a sweet spot to start offering a program, in my opinion.
Great. Is there anything else in the question and answer box? Any remaining questions? Give it a few minutes. And James, is there an estimate of a generalization on how much this will cost a business that's just starting one?
Yeah, so the fees are very transparent, very simple. All the fees on the program are on one page. The administrative cost to run and start a 401k plan for a startup plan. So I'll use that. Let's assume you have 25 employees, right? You want to meet that minimum requirement. The cost on the administrative portion, there is a one-time startup fee to start and launch a 401k plan that's $500. Again, these are all negotiated down drastically because you're part of the large organization. Then you have an administrative fee. It's the annual administrative record keeping TPA fee. This bundles everything together. So this is the expense for the company. It's $85 per eligible employee per year with a minimum of $2,000. So 23 employees is kind of the break point with $2,000. For 25 employees, the annual cost would be $2,100 and whatever, $50, something like that. It's $85 per eligible employee. So if you have 25 employees, but you say, hey, I only want to make this plan eligible to people who are 21 years old, who've been here for a year, and there's only 15 employees that meet that requirement, then your cost goes down. So the minimum cost is $2,000 a year, or $85 per eligible employee.
Great. Well, it doesn't seem like there's any other questions right now. But the great thing about this program is James is always available. If you have a question after, you want information, his information will be sent out. Or as he said, you can always go onto our website. And James, is there any last minute words, thoughts for the audience?
The only thing is, NJBIA is also a member, right? So I know Katie and everyone there, they wouldn't recommend something that they don't actively participate in themselves. They decided to offer it because they joined it to give a better option to their employees. And after a year, they figured, why aren't we offering this to our members? Which is what they now do. So I would say 9 out of 10 folks we sit with end up going into this program. More questions are popping up here. Does the cost go down as more money is being saved to the 401k? Yes. Cost continues to go down as the plan grows. We've lowered the cost 6 times so far since we launched the plan 7 years ago. So as the plan grows, fees continue to go down. And this is the overall program, right? So even if you're a startup, and you want it to start now, you've already had advantage of the costs being lowered for 6 times. So, Michael, yes, the cost continues to go down as more money gets saved into the 401k. Yeah, so the more you save, yeah, absolutely, the lower the cost becomes. And again, you're pooled. So you're being charged as over $100 million plan right now because we've lowered the cost continually since we launched it.
Great. And I think to point out, as James said, BIA has been a participant of it. I bother James often with questions. He's always right there. And one of the benefits of NJBIA programs are we will give you a name and contact info. We won't ever let you get lost in the vicious phone cycle of press this number or press that number. So that is an added benefit. He is very responsive for all of our members. Is there any other thoughts, questions, comments from the audience you want to put in the Q&A? Don't forget, you will receive a recording of today's program within the next week, and check out all of our resources online at njbia.org. Our next webinar for anyone that's interested, October 24th, Navigating Workforce Evolution, and you can register right off of our website. So I guess now we can give you some time back into your day. And if there's nothing else, James, you have anything else?
That's it. I think I covered it all.
Great. So I'm Katie Whitcamp with NJBIA. Put my contact in the chat. If there's any questions about us or any of our programs, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. James, thank you for being with us. I'm going to email you to bother you again soon and set up time. So thank you all for being with us today. And I hope you all have a great afternoon and a wonderful weekend.
Thanks so much.